Chapter 4: The Wedding Procession. Floating Cloud City was the smallest city of the Blue Wind Empire. It was so small that it wasn't even suitable to be called a city. Perhaps calling it a town would be more appropriate. Floating Cloud City was not only the smallest city but was also the most geographically remote in terms of location. The population, economy, and even the average profound strength was the lowest of the low. These days, Floating Cloud City's residents often mock themselves for being a forgotten corner in the Blue Wind Empire. Floating Cloud City was particularly lively today, for it was Xiao Che and Xia Qingjiu's big wedding day. Nobody would care if it was only Xiao Che's wedding, but Xia Qingjiu's marriage was Floating Cloud City's biggest sensational event. The Xia clan was not a clan that solely trained in the arts of the profound. It was a clan that specialized in business for generations. Although they could not be said to be wealthy among others of the Blue Wind Empire. On Floating Cloud City's list of the most prosperous clans, Xia clan was at the top. However, this did not mean that the Xia clan was weak. With their abundant wealth, they could naturally afford to hire experts to protect their vast fortune. The leader of the Xia clan had two children, Xia Yuanba and Xia Qingjiu. Both his son and daughter had no interest in the family business. They solely focused on training in the ways of the profound. Xia Hongyi had never opposed their decision and instead allowed them to continue their path. After Xia Qingjiu surprised Floating Cloud City with her talent, it was even more unlikely that he would prevent her growth. Due to Xia Qingjiu's amazing God-given gift, Floating Cloud City's major families were on their best behavior in their presence. After all, it was widely acknowledged that Xia Qingjiu may reach the Earth Profound Realm or even the Sky Profound Realm someday in the future. At that point, the Xia clan would not only have the most wealth, but would also be the most dominating force in Floating Cloud City. However, that Xia clan had let the city's most brilliant girl marry Xiao Che, a good-for-nothing with no possible future. Who knows how many people regret that decision? Of course, there were more people with feelings of envy and jealous hate. Since it was the Xia clan marrying off a daughter, the spectacle was indeed not too shabby. As soon as Xiao Che went out, he saw a long line of red carpet that began from his door's entrance. This red carpet was the Xiao clan's starting point, and it extended in twists and turns towards the direction of the Xia clan. As soon as the Xiao clan's wedding team appeared, Floating Cloud City's street started to bustle with noise. The street was full with spectators on both sides of the street. As Xiao Che kept pace with the team, various whispers from the crowd entered his ears. "Look, that is the grandson of Xiao clan's fifth elder. I heard rumors that his profound veins are damaged and he would never in his life be able to break through into even the first level of the elementary profound realm. Oh, this is the first time I've seen him in person. It's normal if you haven't seen him before. With such a stubborn bull for a grandfather and the fact that he is a good-for-nothing himself, would you even have the face to go out? Oh, for Xia Qingjiu to actually be married to such a person. The heavens must really be blind." It is said that his father Xiao Ying and Xia Hongyi became sworn brothers when Xiao Ying saved Xia Qingjiu's life after using most of his profound strength. Xia Hongyi then promised that on his daughter Xia Qingjiu's 16th birthday, she would become Xiao Ying's daughter-in-law. Not long after, Xiao Ying fell to an assassin. Due to his previous exertion, he was unable to fight back. The news hit Xia Hongyi like a meteorite and he felt extremely guilty. Now that Qingjiu had finally turned 16 today, and although Xiao Ying's son is a moron, Xia Hongyi was not willing to break his promise because of his heavy feelings of remorse and gratitude. If not for that, how could that guy even marry Xia Qingjiu? What? Xia Qingjiu is our Floating Cloud City's greatest treasure. If he did not have his status of being the fifth elder as grandson, he could not even measure up to the mud on the floor. I am probably 100 times stronger than him. This world is so unfair. The goddess of my dreams is about to marry such trash. I'd rather die than accept this fact. The Xiao Che on horseback had bright serene eyes that conveyed a deep character. He had on an elegant expression and exhibited a light grace. His long hair fluttered behind his dazzling red wedding robe and his entire body emitted an air of elegance. The sounds of murmuring from the crowd contained all kinds of malicious undertones. However, the envy, resentment, prejudice, ridicule, scorn, and disdain from the crowd seemed to not faze him at all. He seemed to be unconscious of the crowd as a beautiful smile was still plastered on his face. It was not known how many girls lost their hearts as their eyes misted over in adoration. Although Xiao Che's profound strength was the lowest of the low, his looks were actually not that bad. He could even be said to be beyond Xiao Yulong. Coupled with the fact that he rarely went out due to his low profound strength, he looked very white and delicate, just like a living doll. So even if the countless youths hated Xiao Che enough to make their teeth itch, in the depths of their heart, they also had to admit that he looked as if he was truly worthy of Xia Qingjiu. I thought that Xiao Che would ride in the carriage today, but unexpectedly he is riding horseback. With that temperament, it seems as if the rumors were not true. TCH. The trash that people typically look down on is about to marry our floating cloud city's greatest treasure. Of course he should be proud. How could he be afraid of losing face? Rang a bitter voice. I heard that Yuan clan's young master as well as other young masters from other families are taken with Xia Qingjiu. Do you think they will come to stop this procession? Yeah, right. Xiao Che is nothing but his grandfather is Xiao Lai. The experts of our floating cloud city all have to respect him in his presence. His son is already dead and he only has one grandson left. He tended to his grandson from the very beginning of his life. If anyone were to cause trouble, they would meet Xiao Lai's wrath. Whoever dares to do that will lose his head. Moreover, this is not a forced marriage. Who would dare to cause trouble to incur the wrath of the Xia clan? I estimate that right now, all the lovesick youths who would actually disrupt the procession are firmly locked in their own house. The wedding procession went on in a casual manner. Not too fast but not too slow. The journey of over 5 kilometers took nearly 1.5 hours. Brother-in-law. As soon as he saw the Xia clan's main entrance, he heard a wild cry. A tall sturdy figure ran over to Xiao Che. This person was not that old, but he was at least 2 meters tall. His body was as strong as a bull and the ground trembled when he came over. As Xiao Che watched him approach, he gulped bitterly and spoke with wide eyes. Yuanba, I have not seen you for only a month. How could you already have grown that much taller, yet again? This man? It was more accurate to call him a boy for he is Xia Qingjiu's little brother. Xia Yuanba. He became 15 this year. Yes, he was really only 15 years old. However, if you take a look at his body, nobody would even imagine that he had just turned 15. 2 meters tall. Xiao Che on his horse was the same height as Xia Yuanba standing up. Yuanba weighed over 175 kilograms. This number was definitely not that high because Yuanba was fat, but was instead because of his big strong muscles. His muscles were of a dark tan metallic luster and broadcasted his astonishing strength. His profound strength was only average, at the 4th level of the elementary profound realm. But his physical strength was a force to be reckoned with. He could fight on par with those at the 6th level of the elementary profound realm. Xia Yuanba was Xiao Che's best friend, his only friend. From a young age he had always called Xiao Che his brother-in-law, and they often played together when they were children. The days before he turned 8, Xia Yuanba was actually a dark and skinny child. He was often bullied, but ever since he turned 8, it was like he ate something wrong and had an enormous growth spurt. His height, weight, and appetite all soared, and the increase in his strength was absolutely stunning. Now at the age of 15, though his face had not fully matured since it was still quite childish, his size was of a monstrous proportion. After hearing Xiao Chei's exclamation, Xia Yuanba rubbed his head in embarrassment. This, even I cannot help it. My father tells me to go on a diet every day. However, letting myself starve and go hungry would be far worse than the feeling of being killed by another. Xiao Chei became speechless. At that moment he was only 15 years old. Once he became an adult, he didn't dare to imagine that. Xiao Chei knew that Xia Yuanba had a huge appetite. Fortunately, he was born in the Xia clan. If he was born in an ordinary family, his consumption would dissipate their entire fortune. Brother-in-law. Today you can finally become my brother-in-law. Xia Yuanba's smile was honest because he had been happily looking forward to this day. In his opinion, with such a strong sister for a wife, nobody would dare look down on Xiao Chei. Hurry up and come in. My sister is already ready. He slapped his head. Oh, I'll go open the door. After that, Xia Yuanba turned in the direction of the Xia clan entrance and ran like a mobile mountain of meat. The procession came in the Xia clan's entrance. At the door, Xiao Chei saw a smiling Xia Hongyi. He quickly dismounted and stood before Xia Hongyi. He respectfully greeted, "Uncle Xia." "Haha. After all this time you still call me uncle." Xia Hongyi laughed. His stature was not tall, for he looked like normal, slightly overweight middle-aged man. Although if one were to look at him and the words simple and honest came to mind, nobody in the entire city of Floating Cloud would dare look down upon him. Xiao Chei's eyes brightened and politely replied, "Father-in-law." He had always been respectful towards Xia Hongyi, for Hongyi was the sworn brother of his father. From a young age, he suffered through the scornful glances of many people, but Xia Hongyi had always tenderly cared about him. Even though he was born with a crippled profound veins, Xia Hongyi had never violated the agreement he made with his father. The agreement that Xia Qingjiu would marry Xiao Chei once she became 16. Haha. Good. Xia Hongyi nodded. He reached out his hand and patted Xiao Chei's shoulder. "Cheer. Starting today, I will give Xia Qingjiu to you. Although you are not a big hero, you are Xiao Ying's son, so I can have a peace of mind when I give you my daughter. Your father Xiao Ying was an amazing man. Becoming his sworn brother is something I would never regret in this lifetime, for he was a passionate and righteous man. You are Xiao Ying's son. Even though your profound veins are damaged, I do not believe that you will stay an ordinary person in the future. Treat my daughter well. For those who talk nonsense and can only flap their mouths in malice, screw them all." Xiao Chei's eyes smoldered in anger. He firmly nodded his head slowly. "Father-in-law, have no worries. Although people hold me in contempt now, once my profound veins are fixed, a sleeping dragon will be awakened from the abyss. I will make those people who look down on me and those who think that the Xia clan took in a wastrel for their son-in-law obediently shut their traps." Xia Hongyi was surprised at his outburst. He had always known Xiao Chei to be weak-minded with a mild temper and an unconscious inferiority complex. Xiao Chei's fearless utterance, sharp eyes and calmness made him see Xiao Chei in a brand new light. One that was completely different from his previous attitude. "Good." Xia Hongyi nodded and patted Xiao Chei on the shoulder again. "I knew that Xiao Ying's son would not be an ordinary child. I will wait for the day this dragon surfaces. All right now. Qingjiu is waiting for you. Go on." Chapter 5: The Wedding Ceremony. Xia Qingjiu appeared between the arms of two bridesmaids. She wore a red phoenix coronet on top of her head. A fine curtain of beads hung down from the phoenix coronet to completely cover her entire face while also hiding her current expression. Her soft and shiny black hair fell gently behind her shoulders. Her straight scarlet robe was decorated in the four happiness cloud pattern, and the belt displayed her slender narrow waist nicely. On her belt hung a charm made of exquisite jade, while pearls dangled at its tassels, matching her golden shoes. These significant details made her magnificent outfit even more dazzling than ever. Xia Qingjiu slowly came to Xiao Chei's side in the arms of the bridesmaids, and every step she made was light and elegant, as if she were walking across the clouds. An ordinary person would look like they were walking, but if they were in her body, they would look like a fairy riding on top of a cloud. Her usual posture was already that beautiful, and Xiao Chei saw such a feast for the eyes. Xia Qingjiu finally came to the front of the carriage, and the two bridesmaids walked away bowing backwards. In accordance to the Blue Wind Empire's wedding tradition, the groom would bring the bride onto the bridal chair. Xiao Chei stepped forward and stretched out a helping hand at Xia Qingjiu. Xia Qingjiu elegantly lifted her hand. However, as Xiao Chei took Xia Qingjiu's hands in his palm, a piercing cold energy unraveled onto Xiao Chei's hand, and his entire right arm stiffened in pain, half immobilized. The biting cold sensation slowly disappeared as Xiao Chei put his arm down with a silent, indifferent expression. Aside from a frown between his eyebrows when the icy cold hit him, he did not make any other expression nor the slightest sound. If one opened Xia Qingjiu's curtain of fine beads, one would see her beautiful eyes flash in surprise and then hastily become cold once more. Xiao Chei sat on the horse, and the wedding procession went on with great strength and vigor. The Xia clan's wedding team followed in the direction of the Xiao clan shortly after. After another hour and a half, the procession returned to the Xiao clan's main entrance. This long journey was smooth and calm, to the disappointment of those who looked forward to the development of any drama. Xiao Lai was already at the doorway and stood to welcome their guests. Sadly, the number of people who came for Xiao Chei can be counted with one hand. Most of the guests came for Xiao Lai and the Xia clan. With Xiao Lai's fame and Xia clan's connection, many guests were seen outside the entrance of Xiao clan house. People who came to see the event was next to infinite. The streets were so filled up that not even a water droplet could get through. All these people came for the marriage of the number one beauty in Floating Cloud City. Xia Qingjiu's bridal carriage slowly stopped in the middle of the noise. A corner of the curtain was opened as her maid Xia Dongling gently spoke, "Miss, we have arrived." Afterwards, a hand reached out and Xia Dongling gently lowered her arms. As soon as she got out of the carriage, the deafening atmosphere suddenly quieted to replaced by deep breaths that followed one after another. It was almost noon. The soft sunshine reflected against her phoenix coronet, while her robe charmingly glittered against the breeze, making one's eyes blur if they looked too long. Her hair was wrapped up high into a bun on top of her head, and the phoenix coronet that framed her head was that of 4 layers. The top layer was adorned with fine golden hairpins, while the bottom had several golden phoenix engravings. The satin red golden phoenix coronet extended into a fringe of swaying pearl tassels. Although her face was not laid bare, with her eyes and lips partly hidden yet partly exposed, her beauty was exquisitely flawless. The sound of irrepressible breathing overlapped against one another as many people stared straight ahead, unable to snap back into reality. That is the power of Xia Qingjiu's charisma. For this all happened without the revealment of her face. Based on her aura and posture alone, she still seemed like a fairy that had walked out straight from a painting. Her beauty was so immense that none could take their eyes off her. Xia Dongling wrapped a red silk sash around Xia Qingjiu's hand. Naturally, The other end of the sash was tied to Xiao Che's hand. As he got off the saddle, Xiao Che smiled as he walked over to lead Xia Qingjiu across the brazier. They cruised over the doorstep of the Xiao clan and stepped directly into the hall. As they entered through the main entrance of the Xiao clan, the noise did not abate. Xiao Che's expression did not change as he kept pace, but he naturally wanted the wedding to end as soon as possible. This was Xiao clan as center hall for important meetings. The only people who were allowed to use this place for a wedding are the leader of the Xiao clan and its elders. For this wedding, the room underwent a large-scale transformation. It was truly a vision that should be seen. As far as one could see, the pillars were all embedded with yellow topaz and the walls had been painted with dragons that were inlaid with rare precious pearls. A red carpet spread across the center of the hall in a straight line and stopped at a short golden staircase. A subtle golden light filled the atmosphere, making the already beautifully decorated hall more dazzlingly eye-catching. The Xiao clan was not willing to invest such a large amount of money for Xiao Che and mostly came from the Xia clan. Xia Hongyi was willing to spend as much as needed for his darling daughter's wedding. Xia Lai and Xia Hongyi sat on the highest seat of the hall. Smiles plastered all over their face as they watched Xiao Che and Xia Qingjiu enter. On both sides of the red carpet were 3 rows of rose sandalwood chairs, all already filled with people. Xiao clan's leader, Lord Xiao Yunhei, was there as well, along with the other 4 elders of the Xiao clan. As Xiao Che walked in with a happy smile, their expression stilled on the surface, but in the depths of their heart, they sneered in disdain. The Xiao clan was a clan that practiced in the ways of the profound for many generations. To have Xiao Che with a crippled profound vein born in the clan was a shame for the Xiao clan. If he were not the grandson of the 5th elder, Xiao Lai, he would have already been expelled instead of remaining inside like he was now. And if it weren't for the fact that he was about to wed the high-profile daughter of the Xia clan, they would not even have bothered to show up in person, let alone be present at the scene. Regarding Xiao Che, if they hear his name, they could only think of the word trash and not pay attention, for they do not even remember how he looked like. In the profound sky continent, one did not deserve dignity if one does not have the skill to back it up. It was a harsh reality and a universal truth followed by many, even towards members of the same clan. The expressions on the faces of the younger Xiao generation were unsurprisingly consistent as well. They all had their sights on Xiao Qingjiu and their eyes belied their insuppressible infatuation. As their eyes transferred towards Xiao Che, their eyes almost erupted with naked envy. The Xiao clan's outer disciples had always looked down on this permanently disabled person and never in their dreams thought that he would actually marry Floating Cloud City as unattainable #1 treasure. The uncomfortable feeling that those 2 people in the marriage hall evoked was similar to eating dead flies raw. The person in charge of the wedding was logistics manager Xiao Di. The wedding ceremony began at the cry of his voice. The master of ceremonies first introduced the bride and groom and then read names from a list of distinguished guests that have came to visit. As he went on, Xiao Che's expression remained neutral, but in his heart were clashing waves of water. Whatever else the master of ceremonies said after that was something Xiao Che could not bother to listen to, for he was repeatedly ruminating over a problem that he actually cared about. What was that sudden weird feeling he felt at Xia clan when his hands met with Xia Qingjiu's? Was it some kind of profound power? But he had never heard of such a mysterious power in Floating Cloud City. For Xia Qingjiu to reach the 10th level of the elementary profound realm at the age of 16 was truly an amazing feat. But she was still at the lowest point of the 10th elementary profound realm. How was it possible that she could soundlessly release such an ice-cold aura that actually completely immobilized his entire arm? What was that astonishing, mystifying power which was displayed at such a level? Or was this the hidden strength of the Xia Qingjiu, who had reached the pinnacle 10th level of the elementary profound realm? The voice of the master of ceremonies stopped. After a brief pause, his voice became 8 octaves higher. First bow to heaven and earth. Xiao Chei's mind rapidly rotated as he glanced at Xia Qingjiu through the corner of his eye while bowing in the direction of the doorway to the heavens and earth. Second bow to the elders. The two people made an 180-degree turn towards the seated Xia Hongyi, and Xiao Lian bowed. Xiao Li firmly nodded and smiled lovingly at Xiao Chei and his new granddaughter-in-law. Xia Hongyi also smiled and beamed in content. Husband and wife exchanged bows. Xiao Chei's body turned towards Xia Qingjiu, and at the same time Xia Qingjiu also turned to face him. This swift action that did not withhold any hesitation nor delay made all members of the younger generation of the Xiao clan clench their teeth. In their thoughts, they believed that Xia Qingjiu did not willingly enter this marriage with that crippled bastard but was instead forced to come by the Xia clan. To their disappointment, even up to this moment, there was no resistance at all from Xia Qingjiu. There weren't even rope lines of her supposedly failed escape that they imagined to have happened. The two people bowed, and as they both bent towards one another, Xiao Chei saw cold eyes peeking through the gaps of the bead curtain. Cool icy eyes that revealed no traces of emotion. Usually at moments like this, the crowd would burst into enthusiastic applause, loud laughter and cheers. But only a few people authentically clapped for the married couple. It was quite awkward. Indeed, the fifth elder should be congratulated. The first elder, Xiao Li, who was sitting next to Xiao Yunhei, said with a cynical strangeness in his words. I congratulate you in representation of all the 5 elders' well wishes. Even the first elder, Xiao Li, who was sitting next to Xiao Yunhei, heard the strange cynical scorn in his words. Second elder Xiao Bo laughed with the same strangeness that came from the leader of the Xiao clan earlier and slowly continued. Fifth elder. Getting such a talented granddaughter-in-law has added glory to the Xiao clan. As for the Xia clan, getting such a son-in-law, haha, is also quite acceptable. Congratulations. The atmosphere in the hall immediately cooled. If one were not an idiot, they would clearly hear the apparent irony in the words, congratulations, that came out of their mouths.